Hey everyone, it's Libby from Maighstirtarot. Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people, the traditional custodians of the land on which these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Yeah, eyes are a little bit red, but by crikey, it's a 4 peg on the clothesline day today. Very windy, very warm. Welcome to spring in Australia. Okay, what do I want to have a look at in this particular reading? I'm going to actually do a bit of a deep dive on Russell Vought, and I'm drawn straight away to my runic tarot. I know that they're dark cards, but I'll do my best here. And remembering that this is entertainment only. So, who was Russell Vought? Well, first of all, he's the director of the US Office of Management and Budget. And he has teamed up with Mikey of the Little Johnson to start firing within 1 to 2 days numerous federal employees. And I do apologise, it's a cloudy day and the light just switched on me. So, again, we'll do our best. So Russell Vought. Now, he's got a bit of a history. So obviously, the fact that they're saying, okay, we're going to fire within the next 1 to 2 days means that they knew the shutdown was coming. Apparently, the Orange Twerp wanted to negotiate with Schumer and can't remember the other dude's name. Wasn't Jeffries, but there was another name there to keep the government open. And Johnson sunk Trump negotiating. So basically, we've got this plan being enacted between Mikey of the Little Johnson and Russell Vought. Now, we know that the Orange Twerp is merely the puppet out the front. He's not the one running the government. And this is, again, proof of what is actually happening. In fact, this is actually proof of him not knowing what the cabinet is intending. So, yeah, so apparently the agreement was made that there would be mass firings in 1 to 2 days, according to GOP House members that have asked to remain anonymous. There were phone calls that went around. Now, let's reading up. Now, Vought apparently is 49, which means he is 8 years younger than me. Gosh, he looks old. He looks like he's in his 60s, but these people, they all look really old for some reason. So he's 49, born in 1976. He was the founder of Renew America, which was set up as an anti-progressive think tank. Major contributor to Project 2025. He was the vice president of the Heritage Action Group, which was the lobbying arm of the Heritage Foundation. So he's right in there deep. He's anti-Muslim, he's an anti-critical race theory, and has done everything he can to quash, quell, get rid of either of those. He defied a subpoena to appeal before Congress regarding the Orange Twerp and the Ukraine scandal. You know, the one where the Orange Twerp asked Ukraine to dig up dirt on Biden, and there wasn't any dirt to dig up, but he defied his subpoena. He refused to publish economic forecasts under the Orange Twerp's first regime during 2020, remembering the election wasn't until later in 2020, and Biden didn't actually take office till 2021. So he refused to publish the economic forecasts under the Orange Twerp the first time around, and he refused Biden's team access in regards to transition after the Orange Twerp and the GOP lost the election in 2020-2021, putting in place. Lot happening there. So he was the deputy director of the Office of Management and Budget during the Orange Twerp's first regime. Expecting to win in 2020, he said in an interview, this is very telling, in an interview in August 2024, so remembering that the election wasn't until November, he had stated that they had over 350 executive orders already drafted for the orange twerp to enact when he got back into power. Now, that if that doesn't tell you that they knew they were going to win through cheating, that tells you a lot. Now, he was divorced in 2003, got a couple of kids. Suspect he might have an account on Grindr or thereabouts, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, he's a dubious fellow, this one, Russell Vought. So I want to have a bit of a look. Oh, gosh. As I split the deck, this was the one that was in the middle there. The Three of Swords, betrayal, despair, treason, just all sorts of icky ghastliness. So let's have a look at Russell Vought. Now, I haven't looked to see whether Melissa from Free Range Tarot, I haven't mentioned her in ages. She does a lot of past lives reading. Someone asked me about Netanyahu, so I looked on Melissa's page and she'd done a reading about a year ago on a past life for Netanyahu. Haven't seen it myself, but she is really good. So Melissa from Free Range Tarot. Okay. Oh, gosh, what have we got here? These two cards flew out. And I was talking about Netanyahu. I think this is the flotilla that is off Gaza at the moment. And we've got judgment. This is about the raising of Razing of Gaza itself. So these are quite telling cards in regards to Netanyahu. He's going to face severe judgment. And then we've got the hermit, the isolation, and the investigation, and then the Ace of Swords. Big, big, big legal action happening. I really get the feeling, and he's going to do something really stupid with the flotilla. That's what I'm getting. Now they've boarded. We've got, the higher authorities in the moon, the secrets coming out. The higher authorities could be the International Court, or it could be the Supreme Court in Israel, and secrets being revealed that he once kept hidden. I'm just looking, how many major arcana am I getting here in a row? Okay, I'm just going to go through this again with Bring You Down. This is in regards to Netanyahu. We had the 10 of Pentacles, the Judgment card, the Ace of Swords, and then the investigation that he's trying to stay hidden from. The next card on the bottom, so I've been drawing them off the top, the card on the bottom is the 10 of Pentacles, so two ending cards. But if we go from the top, as I was just drawing, we've then got the Fool, the foolishness. We've got something to do with the higher authorities, or it could be New Start with the higher authorities, that will be revealing some secrets and bring about, you wouldn't believe that, an ending. Now, I have seen that he and his wife both have been up for corruption. We'll take the Ava mustachioed man in the 1945. They'll take that way out. But look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in regards to, and then you've got the defiance here with the Page of Wands, the defiance of those that came in from overseas with the Three of Wands, and the emotional overwhelming. I think the under Netanyahu's going to order something really foolish to do with the flotilla, and it's going to again, judgment and legal action, trying to avoid it, but very telling cards. Okay, back onto what I was going to have a look at. He's going to do something, I mean, he's done a lot really stupid, but he's going to do something really, really, really stupid is what I keep getting. You'll notice he was over in the US again recently. Oh, even though I put that back randomly, there it is again. Secrets being revealed. Something's coming out big time about him. And I have read a long time ago that I felt that he was partially behind what happened with the taking of the hostages. It's just awful. So intertwined about continuing the attacks, manipulating the situation to the disadvantage of the Palestinians. Now, I'm not anti-is people of Israel, and I'm not necessarily pro. Well, I'm not pro Hamas, but I am pro Palestinian people, ordinary people, and I am pro Israel, ordinary people. It's just that they've found themselves in the crosshairs of this predatory game that's going on. Okay, back to Vought. Okay, Russell Vought. What? So obviously, this shutdown was deliberate. That's what my guides said yesterday in the cards. The fact that he's already got in play who and what and where he wants to fire, that they knew this was coming. He and Johnson teamed up and stopped the shutdown from being prevented. Snake. Okay, show me what we need to know about Russell Vought. Well, first of all, the Lovers card, the Lovers, the contracts and agreement. Okay, I am just going to go entertainment only. I got the feeling that he and Mikey might be a bit closer than what they're letting on. I'll let you read between the lines there. What do we need to know about Russell Vought? Just looking at the X on his chest here. Sacrifice, exchanges, contracts, partnerships. And she's holding this M, which is about, is it an M? Or is it something on its side? Which is about, if it's on its side, it's about time to rise and take action. But if it's a straight M, it's about harmony, teamwork, loyalty, and trust. So teamwork, loyalty, trust, change, combined with exchanges, contracts, and partnerships. But it's also relationships, and it is also to do with relationships as well. There's something here. Right, they don't care if the whole of the US burns down. They've taken what they want out of this, and they're willing to let the whole lot burn to the ground. Boy, that's their challenge. However, the Knight of Swords, rash action, racing into battle that will expose a harsh truth as the energy they're stewing in, and secrets in the past. Secrets being revealed in the past, the moon, the literal fight of good versus evil. Crowning this reading, we've got the Four of Wands, finding these lovers finding themselves entrapped by the messaging that they're putting out there. Now, I do not feel that this is Trump. Feels like it is Vought and Johnson finding themselves entrapped by the messaging, clinging to each other for support. Oh boy, in the immediate future, judgment, facing judgment, a collective awakening to this. Now that's a double X there, so a double what the lover had on his chest, a double relationship, sacrifice, exchange, contracts, and partnerships, but this is very much about the judgment. Drawn to that symbol there where it's very much about male fertility. Ugh, ick. imposing maleness. I mean, what was it? Hegseth said male standards, and it was pointed out very quickly by a lot of those in the military that there are no male standards. There are standards, and it doesn't matter what gender you are, you either pass the standards or you don't pass the standards. Watch for the women that get fired. It'll be disproportionately female. Just watch for that. We've got the Seven of Swords, the betrayal, the deceit, the lies externally, the stealing internally, the government itself, the higher authorities wielding its power, the deception, the hopes and fears, the Seven of Cups, poor choices or choices that need to be made, choices, the birth of something new. Right, the outcome. Ten of Wands, planting the seeds for the future, but an ending. You've got the Six of Cups, families, past, going back to how it was, and the High Priestess. Oh, gosh, okay, thank you. The outcome of Vought. Thank you. I was trying to put a positive spin on it, and my guides were very much, no, that's not. Bringing an end to the wokeness is what I get, the Ten of Wands, an end to the wokeness. Wanting the traditional family, despite the fact that there was never anything of it, such as a traditional family, but wanting to go back to the 50s. You decide what century. And that, folks, is the bison in the room of this agenda, and it's 2025 agenda. So watch for a disproportionate number of women, absolute disregard for human life, for experience, for anything. It's just a corrupt disregard with that Five of Cups, absolutely corrupt. And then we've got the Ten of Cups where they're toasting in the Hall of Valhalla, but it's not actually the hall, it's just toasting the Emperor at the end of the hall there. It's supposed to be the Hall of Valhalla, but still alive. But I don't know that that Emperor is actually the orange twerp. Oh, this is just ick. Five of Pentacles at the bottom. Out in the cold, abandoned, coming into winter in your neck of the woods. However, we've got the Three of Cups, the abundance, the table of abundance, and coming together as community, and justice. Justice will be served in regards to this raping and pillaging with the Ten of Pentacles there. The intention is, so watch, there will be a real disproportionate firing of women. Is this part of the stealing of, is this come out of the Doge stealing of identity information, like lists being made up? Remember Doge going into all these, feels like forever ago, but stealing all the information. Is there going to be a disproportionate firing of women? That's what I'm feeling. They fear women big time. Knight of Swords fell out. Aside from being a yes card, acting rashly, a harsh truth, is there going to be a disproportionate firing of women? Is that their intention to enact Project 2025, or the Handmaid's Tale? Tell me, is this what we're going to see? In case I hadn't said it already, entertainment only. Is there going to be a disproportionate firing of women? Justice, actions having consequences. Betrayal with the Seven of Swords and the Queen of Cups. Women standing their ground, demanding justice in this betrayal. I think it's also the rushing in and slashing and burning. I think that's a yes. I really do think it's a yes. Page of Cups, again, we've got the female here with this emotional presentation out of left field. We've got the Temperance card, again, the female energy, and then we've got the Knight of Cups. Now, long blonde hair. Is it a female or is it a male? Looks like got very much Legolas vibes about him. I think it's male. However, it's almost like men supporting women. Okay, so that tells me that yes, but it could very potentially backfire on them big time, because I suspect the women won't actually leave their jobs. They might stand firm with that Knight of Pentacles. How's this going to end for Vought? Remembering, at least Susan Lynn did a great video yesterday. I caught it last night. Basically about when the orange twerp goes down, everybody goes down with him, including the likes of Russell Vought. Oh gosh, he's a piece of work, isn't he? How's this going to end up for Russell Vought? How is this going to end up for Russell Vought? Do I need to go any further? The Tower. How's it going to end for him? It is not going to end well. However, let's get the whole story. The challenge for him is the dark money behind the scenes that he's involved in. The energy he's stewing in at the moment is the King of Pentacles, serving his oligarchical overlords. In the past, the Sun, full exposure. Finding himself exposed in the past, which could simply be Russell Vought, the information coming out about the mass firings and his connection with Johnson. There's that over the top again, same position, the Four of Wands. The lovers clutching onto each other, trying to hold on, give each other support in the face of the being restricted by the messaging that they put out. We've got the Five of Swords, which is about the self-sabotage, but also the betrayal and deceit, and people leaving, abandoning, the win at any cost energy. We've got here externally the Queen of Pentacles. Powerful feminine energy here. Internally, turning this into a nightmare situation with the Nine of Swords. There's going to be a female figurehead that stands up to this. I don't know a character in history that would be the equal of, but it's got the vibes of women refusing to leave. They might be fired, but they're refusing to leave. Hopes and fears, the Six of Pentacles, someone getting tossed out of the ranks. There, the outcome. The Eight of Cups. Crusty old dragons chewing on the dead wood while the squirrel moves on. The Ten of Wands and the toasting. in the Hall of Valhalla, toasting the Emperor. 2 tens to end with. I mean, we started with the Tower. So this has to play through, is what I'm being told, before we get to these. So the 10 of Wands is determination to destroy wokeness, which is really just empathy and compassion and caring, and celebrating the Emperor. So there's 2, but they're ending cards. We've then got this total disregard and corruption being revealed. And we've got the King of Cups, whoever this is. I mean, it is sometimes my We the People card. But he is, whoever's going to be put into place. I don't know what General Miley's star sign is. Whoever this new leader is that's put into place when this blatant corruption is revealed. I know sometimes people have this as Musk, but I just don't get Musk with it at all. It's too nice a card. Whoever this new leader is, it's not going to end well for Vought, but it's not going to end well. But as they get more desperate, it will ramp up. I'm just going to say that. So breathe. Know that this is the, it's like someone who's gasping for breath because they're on their last legs. Do apologize if that's triggering for any of you. Gasping for breath because they're on their last legs. It's almost this more intense because there's the more desperation. So I get, what I'm getting from that is that there will be a disproportionate number of women that are fired with this attempt to revert back to the 50s. You choose what century you're talking about. And but the women aren't going to stand for it, and the men that support women, that understand the worth of women, are not going to stand for it. Okay, let's see how it plays. Love to you all. Take care.